Welcome to Activity Agent. In our previous video, we introduced you to our back office site administrator. This video will focus on adding an activity or service to your Activity Agent software. Click on the Manage Activities, and this will take you to a list of your existing activities. You can add a new activity, you can delete an existing activity, you can clone an existing activity, and you can edit an existing activity. The clone feature is very nice in the fact that you can clone an existing activity or service and easily and quickly create multiple items based on very similar information. So that's a very nice tool to have and makes the work really fast. We are now into our main screen. Here you will see your activity name. Do you want that activity active? Do you want to specify a vendor for that activity? What is the price? What is the booking window? The short description and the page title. The booking window is what controls when an activity can be booked based on a specific day time. So for example, we had the number 2. That means that from today's date, you cannot book within 2 days of today. So for example, it is Tuesday. The soonest you would be able to book would be a Friday. So that controls how somebody would be able to book and for you to make sure that nobody shows up on your door the next day with an activity that you haven't received yet. So that's where that is, and that's your booking window. Your page title. This comes in handy for search engines or for people that maybe want to bookmark that page. It tells them what they're bookmarking. We then go to the full description tab. Here you will see the description of your activity, and this is what's going to show up on your page. So when you see your description here, that's where it's going to show up. If you have a lot of information, you can tell it to enable scroll bars that will allow this content to scroll so it doesn't really push the page down too much. You also have this section here which tells when is this activity available. So here we've made a note that it's available Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So if we look at our activity, we will see Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So that's how you're able to specify specific notes on maybe when that activity runs or something along that line. Maybe you just want to specify what harbor they need to be at or days closed, things along that. It's entirely up to you. Your categories, very simple. Here you just select what categories that activity applies to. Extended pricing. Here you can select pricing options for your activity or service. So for example, maybe you have an adult and the cost is $100, but maybe you have a teen which is $75, and maybe you have a child that's $50. Here is where you would be able to set up those pricing options. Requirements. If you have a specific requirement for your activity or service, this is where you would specify it. In this example, we have must be a certified diver. So if we look at this activity, here we will see must be a certified diver. So it lets your customers know if there are specific requirements that you need to have before you can participate in the activity or service. Scheduling for the activity. Here we've set up a schedule from January 1st, 2012 to January 1st, 2014, and that runs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So by setting up scheduling, you are able to control what days your activity can be booked and or do you have blackout dates, and you can also run multiple schedules on an activity. So very flexible to control that. Your add-ons, here again, this will show all the add-ons that you create. Add-ons aren't really specific to a product, they're a generalization. So when you create your add-ons, you'll actually do it in your manager in add-ons section, and then all of them will be available so you can just apply them. That way they're more of a global issue and you don't have to sit and recreate them for every activity or service. All you have to do is just check a box. Recommended items, they're again very similar. You just find the category and the product you want to recommend with your existing one and check a box. Fees and taxes, they're again very similar to what we showed you in add-ons, is that the fees and taxes aren't unique to a specific activity or service. They're generalization. You may have 30 different fees and taxes. They will all list here, and you're able to just check the box of which ones you want to apply to a specific activity. Custom fields. This allows you to specify more information that you want from your customer. So for example, on this one, we want to know the name, certification level, and date of last dive. So when your customers are on the activity and they click add to cart, we will pop up this box and ask them those specific questions. So you can see how easily it is to request more information that you may need for this product, but you may not need it for another activity or service. So you can specify based on the individual item. Terms and conditions. This is a unique term and or condition that applies to this unique product compared to your global terms and condition that apply to the store or the way you operate. So you're able to apply unique terms and conditions if you need to on specific items. Your notes, they're again very simple. Maybe you just have notes that you want to keep internally on specific items. Perhaps you're an activity company and you want to write down who your contact or vendors are for this specific activity. The notes are purely for the back end. Your customers will not see this information, so it allows you to just keep there again additional information that your employees can share. Activity attributes. Here you've got a lot of flexibility in you can have a start date or an ending date on an activity. Do you want to change a label name? Do you want to have a quantity based on a date range? What that would be is you would have a beginning calendar and an ending calendar. So for example, if you were renting a Jeep, you could select this box and you could have a pickup day calendar and a drop-off day calendar. It would basically calculate the days selected and charge accordingly. So you're able to do those. Quantity field label, you can put anything in there. You don't want it to say quantity, you want it to say something else. You're able to change that field. Then you get into your custom fields, and these are used more along for maybe days, times. Oh, and an example, maybe you're selling a activity, or in our example, we have some cabana rentals. And those cabana rentals are half-day rentals. Here you could put down half-day, and from a drop-down list, select that, and is it required? If you have a product such as a shirt, you may want to put colors, red, green, yellow. Here again, that's where you would do that. Your text to display, easily you can fill that in to whatever meet your needs. So in general, you can see how flexible and easy it is to create activities and yet still control a lot of information. So stay tuned for our next video where we'll feature creating of products, very similar to the activities, but it's got one or two different features that we'll go over with you. So thank you once again, and remember you can visit us online at www.activityagent.com.